This is the basic display view. So here is the battery voltage, 19.27 volts. And then the remaining footage in meters. The roll, take limiter, last take, previous take, FPS preset is to 0 now, and the frames per second, the FPS preset. And there's the LK, it means the display is locked now. So here's the lock button. I will push it 3 times. Now you can see that the lock is off, and now I can use the selector knob to move around the highlight box. Between these settings. So I will first want to change the FPS preset. So the highlight is over FPS. Then I will push the selector. You can see AD, meaning adjust mode. Now when I rotate the selector, I can select different presets. There is 16 presets, out of which 16 is the external input. But there is 16 presets from 0 to 15, and presets 0 and 1 are possible to change by the user. So I will show you how it can be changed. When you choose the FPS preset, you will just choose the right one in the adjust mode, and then 23.976, and click the selector. Now it will show what preset it selected. And now the system works at the FPS. I will show how to change the user preset. So I will, for example, choose the preset 1, which can be user adjusted. Select it first. And now the highlight, I will go over the FPS value with the highlight, push the selector down and hold it for a couple of seconds. For a couple of seconds I will hold it down. Now you can see that the highlight vanished. And now when I rotate the selector, nothing happens. Then I will click once. Now I can change the tense. For example, 20. 26, 28, 8, 0, 2 FPS. Click. So you can adjust these presets 0 and 1 by 1000 FPS accuracy. And the other presets are factory set. So now we have our FPS set. I will reset the footage amount. So I will select the mag, hold the knob, and now the highlight jumped there. So now I can set the film mount in a new roll, for example. 2 meters. Click. The take limiter function means that the maximum length of a single take can be set. So I can showcase it here. It can be done by 1 meter accuracy. For example, 3 meters. Select. And the user interface settings, namely the take limiter amount to selected FPS presets and the values of the preset 0 and 1 can be saved to the memory separately. The footage counters save automatically after each take, but the user interface needs to be separately saved. So I will do it now. To highlight this over the mem, I will click it to the adjust mode, rotate either left or right by a couple of steps. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, save OK. Now it saved all those settings. You only have to do the manual save if you change the FPS presets of the take limiter and want to save those settings. The footage counters will always be saved automatically. And now we are ready to test this. You can see the small S letter there. That means standby. And I start the motor. That says to R, meaning running. This is the first take after the boot up, so it takes a little bit time to start, but the motor is running here. And it should run 3 meters and stop. Now it stopped. It made it by itself. I didn't touch it at all. And now you can see there's the last take, which was just open. That was 3 meters. We will test another one. And 3 meters and stopped by itself. If you want to disable the take limiter, just set it to high enough value so that it doesn't disturb you. The 123 meters is the highest value, so it will not bother you then. And I will select some other FPS preset. I will select another FPS preset like 33.333. And now I will want to save this to the memory, so the new take limit value and selected FPS preset. So I will go to the mem, 3 steps to left or right, save OK. I will power it down now so we can see that it's saved all to the memory. So just power off, power on again. And you can see it saved all the needed settings. So this motor and controller work from about 8 FPS to about 50 FPS stably. The maximum user FPS values are 79.999 FPS, but it is a bit unstable. It goes a little up and down. So those can be used, but I don't recommend over 50 because they are just a little bit unstable. and lower than about 80s, often just doesn't work pretty well. And it can go to about 6 FPS, but that is very near the absolute lower limit. I can show you the if I will change the user preset to 79.999. What does? I set this upper limit in software, otherwise it could just go over 100 FPS and broke the camera. So some ACL original motors can go to 75, so this should be okay for most cameras, this 79.999, but it's not super stable. Let's see. And this is again the first take after boot up, so it takes a couple of seconds to start. I don't know if you can hear this, but you can hear the slight imbalance. So it can definitely do 79.999 easily, but it's not super stable. As you can see, the sync warning light is not lit, so it definitely works at 79.999, but it's not super stable. You can use it if you want. But I will show you the 50 FPS, which should be totally fine. It's the preset 15. As you can, I think you can hear that it's pretty stable. And this was 50 FPS. The crystal sync is tuned to the normal sync zone speed, so over 50 it's a bit too high for. The mid speeds like 24, 25, 33.333 and so on work perfectly stable. So '25 works very stably. And of course, because this is tuned to mid-range, the normal sync zone speeds, those ones work very stably. It's even better when this is mounted to the camera. But it is really stable, actually. And you can see again the last take and previous take. The controller is meant to be mounted on top of the camera, so it has 3 mounting points just normal quarter-inch camera thread holes underneath. And you can use, for example, Noga arm to mount it on top of the camera. But that's basically it. It has the lock button, the selector knob, sync warning light, and start stop switch. It has this 5-pin accessory connector where you can add your own start switches and so on. And output footage counter signals and input external speeds if needed.